Hi there. So, luckily there were no likes so far. Only 2 views on my previous video. Yeah. So I don't have to put a card. Yeah, I think this is one of the most beautiful animals on the planet. And maybe the fastest runners, those cats in Africa, cheetahs, that's the English word for it, yeah. They are also extremely cute. If you've seen those when they were babies, let's say. Wow, or small ones, they are so cute. I'm just breathing, what do I actually have in mind? Nothing much. I'm really stuffed right now. I've made some not the best decisions, but I have at least eaten regularly, and I realized that I don't get time to get hungry. And another thing I realized is that I sleep very well. I don't think I've had a clue actually how irregular I have been eating. And most, I don't know most people, but many who function well actually eat quite regularly, I think. And the difference is huge. Although I still emotionally, I say I'm so fearless, but probably not. Because of the whole, why do I grasp with this then? I have had it for all my life as both protection and comfort and everything. Physically I know how to get out of it and to be cool with that. That took me many years to realize how to do that. Or even for science and those outside. In the world, to become aware of that physical aspect of it. And that I cope with. I understand how to deal with that. But when it comes to the emotional things, I'm not so sure. But still, what's the choice, And I also think about others. I recently heard about someone who lost just a little while back. There was, it happens probably all the time, but now I have some not in relation to that person, I know who it is, but there was some little kid who lost her mom from an overdose. And she's so small. They remember a lot, though, those small ones, or can remember a lot, or at least have glimpses. My uncle's 4, he passed when his kids were 4 and 2, and the 4-year-old, she remembers several things around him, so yeah. But still, we had him for so long, and it's really saddening that they didn't have him, because he was a super awesome and special one. They didn't really get to know as much as I feel they should have had the opportunity to. But he, of course, is around and protect them and so on nowadays anyways. Yeah. But I've thought about that lately, how try to find words, or actually I try to find a way to express, rather, it's not that I'm seeking a specific word now, I just just wonder how to capture my thoughts into words even. But I realized there is someone also that I love much who lost his mom quite young, and I realized that I will never be able to understand that, the sorrow of that. Yeah. Some things, I mean, it's different for everyone, I suppose, who experience whatever things it is, but still, what you haven't been through, you can't really fully understand. And it varies a lot where you are at the time, I mean, what age and so on also. Yeah. And then I think sometimes I focus and think about those things that may have been a bit tricky for me on my path, and think that it have been like unjust in a way. Although maybe from the outside people would thought that, okay, you have had the same opportunities, or and I can think that myself, I could have done something way better or something. No, not better. Actually, I do the best now. I love what I do. And if I wouldn't have had this road in that have gone in different directions that wasn't planned, then I wouldn't probably have ended up here with this that I have now. Talking about the monarchy and all those things that I love. So, and just being the person I am, I respect myself. And I wouldn't say adore, I don't do that maybe some days, but I appreciate the person I am, yes. And I have a lot to work with and change and so on, but yeah, I'm very content with myself in the sense that I know who I am. And I, yeah, self-respect, I guess that is what I mean, probably. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know why I do this sometimes when I talk here as well, because I talk to myself then, sort of, but I know maybe someone would listen, and I appreciate you who listen. I really do. Although I know there are several out there whose intent aren't the best. Still, I will torture you with me then, if you want to listen. Yeah. But there are hopefully someone, or will be someone, who may actually just listen, or maybe even have good intent or warm thoughts, hopefully. Yeah, that could be good in the world. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know really why I spiraled down. I think it is because I try to grasp things so much. I really want to grasp things. I've always been like that, so. And when I can't, especially when it's difficult to do, I keep digesting that, sort of. And one way to do that, I don't know if it works all that well, because I keep talking about same things for years and years. So I don't think I get very far. But I don't know. And also when I look at this, I have this image up that I have on the video. This puma, I just love them. And it's interesting how, for example, psychopaths. Part of me would want to like study them. I guess I have the opportunity. They seem to pop up. But I mean, it's interesting. They are like human predators. And it's interesting how one can, I personally, I can so much adore predatory animals. And still it's so very difficult to do when it comes to humans. Especially if you are, I would not probably do so if a cougar ran after me or something. I would be a bit stressed out. But so it depends on if you personally are, if it's something directed towards you, of course, also. But still, there are those who, work with these animals and everything, and probably rather would die than having them get hurt. It's just interesting. I'm sort of interested. I'm interested all over the spectrum of humans. And I probably should focus on something else if I want to bring something else into my life. But at the same time, yeah, it's not fascinating in the sense that it's like positively thrilling or something like that. I don't mean that. It's awful, the consequences it creates. Unbelievably horrible. So it's not like in that admire sense of fascination. It's rather the whole. The range of differences we humans can have, although even seeming similar, That's interesting to me. And also, I would sort of like to understand. Yeah. I actually read this book about psychopaths. And this one who wrote books about. I also saw an interview with him. He had been like targeted by a female psychopath that ruined his whole life. And almost but still he writes books and he's on interviews on TV. So I guess he sort of, I don't know how he got away. I don't know the whole story about that. But he mentioned that one of the problems is that no one would listen. Because it's so erratic, it's so not logical. So if you are, if that's the case for you, then others don't make sense of it. They don't understand, but why would that be the case? Or why would that happen? Or why would that person or those choose that? For what reason? And no, they don't do it that way, and so on and so forth. Because even those who should be educated in that, I mean, those who work much with people should know about psychopaths. I don't like labels, as I've said before. I don't like labels. I don't like diagnosis, and that's sort of a very much a label. But I still think it has some sort of it's justified still to try to understand it and describe something, because otherwise they really get away scot-free. And because people don't see what they do, and people don't see, I mean, those who seek help being in a situation where someone like that would kind of attack their lives. They wouldn't, others around wouldn't get it, because they don't know how this works. Anyways, that guy have written also about, I don't know, bosses in the workplace, or even those you work with, the personality types and whatnot. I don't know about the how oh gosh, now again I need to stretch my legs always now. No, but how exact those things are. I think I don't know what the first books were, like Surrounded by Idiots or something like that, I think. And then I think it's called, I don't think it's called I'm sorry, I start to laugh about this now. I don't think it's called Surrounded by Psychopaths. That would really suck. But but still, but I think it's called like I don't remember actually, but I hope it's not that title. I don't think it is actually, because that would be not good. Yeah, and we aren't. There are many good ones who mean well and want well. The problem is the lack of knowledge, and therefore people get hurt and dismissed as well, because it doesn't make sense to a normal, so to speak, someone who don't function that far. I mean, if you just think in the normal range of reasons, motives, and those kinds of things, it won't do it. Those people, they will not have that same focus and logic. So it will not seem logical, because it isn't in most people's minds. But in some, and apparently, according to that book, I don't know if I still have it actually, they, I think probably I kept it. I'm not sure if I got like tired of the whole subject, so I just sent it away. I'm not sure. But anyways, there are quite many, but there is a range there also on how far one would go. Everyone, I mean, when you think about it, you think about those, I don't know, documentaries about serial killers or whatnot, and there are those too. But and I think also, I won't go there. But there are more sneakier ways to do that than those most, let's say, those most extreme programs or cases, whatever, where someone is super sick and do very horrible things. There are, I'm sure, not many hopefully, but I'm sure there are those who do that in more smooth ways so that they never get caught, or very seldom. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I don't know, I didn't have that in mind even to talk about that, but it was interesting, the book. It was long, quite some time since I read it, but that it's not uncommon, and how different it can show in so various ways, and how things. Yeah. But still, I think the range of you know, when it comes to those labels, I'm not sure if I would subscribe is my new favorite word now, but to that you can never like change that. Some people say that they are sure that's the case, that if you are in a certain way, then you will continuously be that way. But I'm quite sure of the opposite, that it could be. I mean, it could continue, but I think we have a huge potential to change anything, the possibility to change. And I wouldn't say it would be the easiest thing, and in my mind I can't but think that it is some sort of protection, like there is this like a wall, like as if you've stonewalled yourself, kind of thing, which make you so insensitive and cut off from empathy and so on. It's as if there must have been something very painful, impossible to even see yourself. But I don't know, I talk about this now and then because I haven't even studied it. Yeah, I read that book, but I haven't like studied it. Probably I should, or maybe not. Maybe I should focus on other things, but it's interesting. People in general are interesting, and it's also interesting to see your own reflection. I mean, to see I think it's way more difficult to understand something or someone if you think like us and them. You have to kind of try to put yourself in their shoes or in their mind to, I mean, be non-judgmental in that sense, because otherwise you will just see it from without, and yeah, I think that always goes wrong. You have to think about it as if it was yourself. Although it can be very difficult to do that. And sometimes not even that. I mean, I think everyone have also a great imagination, at least. Not only that we all can show all kinds of sides in certain situations, but also the ability to imagine. Yeah. anyways. What have you done today? How are you doing? I don't know. I should stop talking about that. I just come back to that over and over, and I'm sorry. I just try to make any kind of sense of that. Not over and over, it's now and then, but I really try to, I don't know. I should not, maybe. Or maybe go all in and study it. Maybe. Either let it be or actually do the opposite. I think that's a good choice. I should probably pick a card for myself regarding that. Should I? Shall I? You don't know what card I pick. I don't lie. And that's one of the things I like about myself, but it's not smart. I wouldn't say that's a smart side. I could, though, if I felt that it would be necessary for some reason. I could, but I would prefer not to. Possible. Yeah. Can you see what I see? If you stare into, I don't know if you have this in the big screen or if you just have it in a phone. But I never saw this before. But now when I look at this picture, if you look into the eyes of that cougar or that puma, those two, if you try to look at both of the eyes, do you see that it looks like a human in there and that there is a mask outside? Do you see what I see? That the puma exterior is like a mask that a person wears. Although it's not, it's the cougar's eyes. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure. But to me, suddenly when I looked at it, it really looked as a human's eyes in there. I don't know. But only if I try to look at those both eyes at the same time, then it like changes. So it seems like a mask. Yeah, I don't know if you see it. That was like... trippy. No. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. It seems like a... But it doesn't really feel like a... If I should study it. It doesn't feel really like a subject that would make me low. I've always been a little bit interested. I've been really interested in people overall. And I am, always. Especially those things that are harder to understand. So it doesn't really feel far-fetched, and it doesn't feel like like scary or that it would make me low. But at the same time, I think maybe it's better to focus on something else in life. I mean, life is not very long. Do you really want to spend your time doing that then? Maybe. I don't know. And maybe also it can be beneficial to do for yourself and others. And there are those already who have studied it a lot. But yeah, but how to do that really? I mean, to really understand, you have to like become that predator yourself. Almost, at least. That's maybe what I see in those eyes. Yeah. Never mind. I would pick a card for it actually. I still have those Oracle of Shadows and Light here next to me. I actually have the Book of Shadows tarot and the As Above, So Below, and some other cards. And actually, I will pick another card later, also from the Mystical Shaman tarot. I should actually almost pick that, but I will first do this now. I should not pick cards now, but I do still. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, one was turned up. So. How to ask this then? How will it be if I would? I don't think I can let actually fully go of the subject because it will come back in my mind and buffle or like it will come and ask questions sort of in my mind. So it will come back, but I could like shake it off, but it won't go away fully, I don't think. So how will it be if I would go more all in studying it? I don't think that's smart. There is 2 cards. Out trick or treating. We're here. I'll have to go out and undercover psychopath. Sorry, I think that would be. Oh, and then yeah, this is like really expressing it. Carnivorous flower fairy. Tempting offer has a high price. No, don't do that. These 2 cards, okay. Out trick or treating. This is Halloween like times. Number 5 and 38. So I will read these then. And I think the suggestion is not so much do that because yes, you should actually if possible, walk away. I mean, that was the suggestion from that guy who wrote that book. That's the best ever choice. To never stay in contact. As much as possible, just stay away. And hopefully, as this the faceless ones know, but do you know the ghost? In the previous video, like that, they find someone else, maybe, hopefully. So, out trick or treating. Knock knock. They're here. At your door, front or back, or at the window, dressed in black. Appear 4 little ones, if you include the little jack-o'-lantern. They may look scary, but take some time to discover what they have bubbling away in the cauldron. It could be wonderful, and yet you may be fearful that it's woeful. Yeah, maybe you think that of some, and also it's not, but I don't know. It's going to take courage to find out the truth, but if you do find that courage, you'll discover that you need not be scared by the appearance of death. He's just here to help you change. A jack-o'-lantern is here to help you light up something you've been hiding from. The little witch with her apprentice, I can't even, yeah, a question mark after that. They are ready to help you understand the depth of your magic. Don't be afraid. Yeah, sometimes maybe you actually misinterpret others as being so. And also, there is a purpose. I mean, we all need to confront death, for example. And those people will, or fear, or other things. And those people will really be helpful, let's say, in that sense. Because they will trigger those things in us. And that can be... I wouldn't suggest it, but it could be something we can grow from. Absolutely. The trick-or-treaters speak. We may look dark and scary to some, But truly, we have also fun, and we are also fun and peace-loving, magical ones. Yeah, that's for sure. And I do really believe that. With at least some. Don't judge everyone by appearance. Instead, understand what lies beneath and discover what it is they want, and then feel out for any strings attached. We want you to exercise your feelings and your clairsentience, the ability to know. I must go inwards and like tune in here to understand. It feels like. And not to rely upon appearance for your signals. Yeah, that's important. Then we would like you to meet with us so we can share our experiences with you and hear more of your story too. Divination message. It's up to you now to decide whether you are going to take the time to discover what something is really all about, or simply judge it based on how it appears to be at first glance. The trick-or-treaters help you see through conditioning and old thought patterns. And as they do this, they may reveal to you a world of more wonder than you thought possible. And all you need is courage. Interesting. Yeah, some people may want to purposely push you to break through barriers of sorts. You may not be aware of yourself. Yeah. Or they may not even purposely do it, but do it anyway. Yeah. But I don't have had a lot. I've had a lot of tolerance, but I don't have had a lot of boundaries much. But there is one thing: if people have threatened me, then they are out of my life. Actually, that have not even been the case. And there have been those who have been very much so. Not only that have acted out more, but yeah, I don't accept that around me. So, hey, baby. In however camouflaged ways. Little one. My little tiny cougar. Oh, she's so cute. She's really, really tired now. She has those small eyes just looking at me. Okay, the next card for this. So sometimes I guess this card also shows that oftentimes people, I've seen that also, those who have let's say psychopathic traits, at least as it seems, they have some that I have met have also had awesome and lovely sides. And I don't think it's all, I mean, some people say about that if that's the case, if even the first suggestion is like true, how you experience someone, then they only act as if when it comes to the good sides, let's say. But how do you really know that? Or maybe some have said so, or what? I mean, why shouldn't it be possible to sort of have both, especially if there is some sort of dissociation there? I don't know if psychopaths, so-called, ever have that, but I don't know. Okay. Number 38. Carnivorous flower fairy. A temptation offer has high price. Yes, avoid it, walk away. Don't. Pay attention. When this card shows up in a reading, look carefully at someone or a situation around you. Her beauty tempts people in, But the purpose of the flowers is to devour, making it difficult to escape unharmed. You may have been told such situations are wonderful agents of change and growth, as I just said now, but there is a degree where it's not, where you should really just stay away if you can. But the truth is that you do not need to learn this lesson again. The plants in the beautiful yet faintly macabre image represents someone or something that is attractive yet dangerous. There is a being who may feed off your energy or even eat you alive. Watch for people who consume more than they give, people who bully and swallow others, who argue you out of your beliefs, ignore you, or constantly seek your approval and praise, and then grow hostile when you no longer give it. If you are appeasing another instead of having an equal relationship, or if you are fearful of being consumed by an environment that is toxic yet seductive, it may be that carnivorous flower fairy, or psychopaths, has come forth to show you clearly what you need to avoid. I don't think I should go. Maybe tune into whether or not, however a situation or person or whatever is. That I think is a good choice. But then let go, if need be. Sorry. So, the carnivorous flower fairy speaks. Am I not beautiful? Wouldn't you like to come a little closer? I am sure you will appreciate my beauty once you're able to see me properly. And no, of course I won't hurt you. I'm just, after all, a girl. I may look like an innocent girl holding a bouquet of flowers, and I am. But my nature is to devour, as is theirs. And so, before you decide to step closer to me and to work with this energy, know that you may be meeting a dream eater, one who consumes, who takes, who delights in watching the predatory actions of others, who dominates, controls, criticizes, and judges. I will eat what I can, and I will eat what comes near me. It is my nature. And although some may promise you they will not, if it is their nature to do such things, it is inevitable that they will do so. Do not forget who they are, and do not try to make them what they are not, or change and save them with your love. They will eat you, and delight in doing so. Yeah, it says a lot, this, right? Divination message. You may observe someone speaking cruelly about others, sending out toxic energy, seeming to feel extremely entitled to money, fame, life force, and attention, but unable to create their own. They treat themselves rather like royalty, as if others are servants whose purpose is to fulfill their wishes. They can be charming and cunning because they do want you to do something for them. They spend much of their time trying to feed off others, and if you deny them this, they become very angry. Narcissistic, they see you as a source for them, a way of getting something. This is sad, but even sadder if you allow yourself to be their victim. This could indicate either a person or a workplace or a belief system that is demanding, all-consuming, and almost cult-like in its practices and ethics. Whatever and whomever the carnivorous flower fairy represent, it is a dangerous alliance to contemplate. Do not get too close. Observe and learn if you must. Do not become an experiment. They will bite you and they will try to take from you. It is their very nature. Yeah. I remember actually one time with a guy that I was together with long ago. When I met when I was a teenager. He got like those outbursts of explosive anger, and once, actually it was maybe one time only that I thought about that. It was at his grandma's house, and there were others there. I don't even know what made him mad, but something had made him really angry, or not in like angry, but explosively, you know. I don't know if he threw something, crashed something, or like so people got like scared, and I don't know. Maybe he had his grandma. I think she just tried to calm everything down, but I don't think she was scared though. Because they had this, I don't know what kind of contact, but it was like I can't even. But what I felt then was that he went out to sit on the stairs outside of her house, and I kind of knew then. Or let's say like this, I felt that this is like being with a wild animal. That's the sense I had. So I knew I couldn't talk to him, or I mean I just sat there a bit sort of beside him, but yeah. I wasn't afraid exactly, but I knew that this is the reactions aren't like they are more like in wild animals' reactions. So I just sat there quietly, and after a while he calmed down, and I guess he said something, or if we went from there, or if he went in. I don't remember the rest, but it was really a feeling I had, as if I were sitting there beside like a lion or something. And I thought I would just breathe calmly now, and just like with my presence try to be calm, you know, to bring him calmer. Yeah. And right then and there, probably I should have left for good. I didn't though. Yeah. That's how it goes. Anyways, I thought about taking another card here. I don't need any more answers to that, so I think I will go to the whole mystical shaman tarot another day. This was much enough, right? But I had thought of the actual things that I wanted to talk about were something entirely else, and now I have been talking for so long, so I probably should just stop. I thought about talking about various ways to do, like, for example, there are certain techniques you can use to remote viewing and certain things. I think some of you will listen to this, maybe. I'm not sure I want to teach it to every one of you though. But that would want to learn this. So that's what I was thinking about, how to develop or even enhance your psychic gifts and so. Psychometry and so on and so forth. It's really interesting. I don't have a clue for how long I've talked, actually. Maybe I should still, because this was my aim for this video, sort of. And I haven't talked about it. I think I will talk a little bit, though. I mean, we can't stand outside of time, and all this also brings with it some fearlessness, I must say. And maybe fear opened up those dimensions, but yeah, the time we can measure and the limitations of what we perceive as reality, so that we can see into the future or the past or at a distance, or what we cannot see with our eyes, physical eyes. So shall I even, it seems like really strange to dive into this now. I think maybe I have to wait. I think I will have to, but it's such a, yeah, I know I don't have to. I don't have anything, I do what I want. But okay, those previously they had these moon calendars that to be able to see when certain birds returned, or the winter, or whatever. But those moon calendars didn't really fit with the sun calendars. So, for example, the Celtic Coligny moon month calendar added an extra month every 2.5 to a third year. It was called Kalos. The moon without time, or the month, without time, because the moon should then be synchronized with the sun. And even the fact that we calculate about the path of the sun through the sky have also limitations or flaws, so that we have to compensate with these to add a day in February, and so every 4th year. So since the time of the day according to the sun time is not the same throughout the year, that then we have to think it or calculate it rather than what is actual. So we base it on like a hypothetical sun that would travel like the same distance throughout the year. So, but the difference could like, according to different seasons, can be as much as 16 minutes in a course of a day and a night. So the standardized time that is based on the sun, that was introduced 1883 through an international agreement that the Earth was divided into 24 time zones. So therefore, these we all know now, especially with the net, we are aware of that when it's a date here, or that some celebrate their birthday, if you're connected to someone overseas or in other parts of the world, and maybe even it can be 2 days of difference. So, and even more dramatically than when the Gregorian calendar were introduced to the mainland in Europe 1582, 11 days just vanished from the calendar. And this new calendar were not accepted in the Protestant, if that's the word, I think, England until 1752. So, therefore, different countries acted on different dates. So in Sweden, those calendars were changed eventually the 7th of February 1753. And then the next date were 1st of March 1753. I hope this is correct, but this is what I've read anyways. So when we changed the calendar, there were like from 17th February to February till 1st of March, just vanished a bunch of days there. And here also there was those first attempt to synchronize with the European calendar in the 1700s and so on. Anyways, about time just in itself, that it's as if we think of it as something that would just be clear cut in a way, but it still isn't. And suddenly we can just, in the counted time, you can just change it, sort of. But anyways, so when it comes to remote viewing, I realized this during one of the crises I've had the honor to experience. I actually see it like that. I see it also when I think about it as life-saving. There are so many things that I would have missed. I mean, that I would have been so sidetracked, and I would probably have ended up, ruining my life if these things didn't shake and wake me. So, thank you, anyone who participated in doing so. Yeah. Anyways, I got it full force when I had been really sick and thought I was going to die. And then, then I could suddenly just see things with my eyes open, clearly in the room, like transparent, but I saw the images of, for example, the Christmas gift my mom was going to send from here, up north in Sweden, to me when I lived in Kungälv. And I could describe detailed what it was, things that I had no clue about, because I saw them, and many other things. So it just suddenly was there from not. I had never been aware of it before. So and children are able to do this very naturally. They can like feeling into what happens around a corner or so on through walls, because they are so open still. And also mothers with this strong connection to the children are often in tuned in a special way and know even if they aren't there, that if there isn't danger or something, even if they are in a different house or so. And animals also have this remote viewing ability. And I don't know what you know about these things, but the US Army and probably others, but as far as I know of, and secret services have also used remote viewing for many years to locate missing planes or to locate a target, for example. And there have been many experiments of this, but yeah. So that you can, for example, perceive what that person sees through their eyes, so you can describe where they are or where they are or whatever. And there have been those psychic spies or so on. But it's very useful to retrieve or find missing persons or things. And I know there is this guy in Norway that is awesome at this. I don't recall his name now. Yeah. But you can practice these abilities and get better at them. It depends on focus and time and intent very much. Yeah. And also this have happened a lot more than we know. Probably many naturally have kind of had a sense that they are there if someone is missing and so on, and found them. And there are also, of course, those who have been, that haven't always been the case. That everyone have been found, obviously so. But there have been those fascinating cases where you couldn't have thought it out and suddenly just knew that they are there, and then someone went there and find those whomever they seek or been seeking. And some people don't just see, but you can also hear sounds or feel scents, and that is connected to that place or person or that thing. And there are those, I don't know what they're called, psychic detectives, or there are several videos on YouTube related to those who work with these things. And I would love to do that if I could. But the reason I also have a lot to do as it is with the things I do, but also I would want to be sure that I am correct. You can never be sure you are correct, but at least know that my ability to hit the mark, so to speak, would most of the time actually do so. And that is something I can practice by myself, so that I know for sure that I can have that strong focus and do that work. Otherwise, there is a risk you would sidetrack something instead and block a solution rather than be of help. So I hesitate a lot. I wouldn't want to interfere with. But oftentimes when they use these, who know how to do these things, they still are stuck already. They don't get further. So, yeah. So it's no harm in it in that way, I assume. And ways you can do if you want to practice this, if you don't already know how to do it, to find things. As I said, to me it just came, I just knew. Same with psychometry. The first time I heard about it first, I never did it before as I knew of purposely, but I heard about that you can do it. You can hold on to an object and tune into it and feel or get information about it. Every time I've done it, I've known how to do it, but the first time I just immediately knew how to do it. It's just that I hadn't ever tried before. It's like as if you go with your eyes closed and suddenly you just open them or something. I don't know. Or you don't know how to ride a bicycle and suddenly you try and then you know, obviously I can do this certain thing. And then you can do it. So to me there have been no practice at all to reach these things. But there are several things that can be taught also. I mean, everything wouldn't work as well for everybody. You have to feel into it, but you could try it maybe if you want. And some would have to practice more, and some would have it more natural and could just maybe skip a few steps and just it's good with this picture though. You can tune into this picture for a while because you can use it. So anyways, here, yeah, if you think of it as 3 levels of remote viewing, then for the first level you can start to look at this. This is not very detailed, and also this is layered, so I don't know if this is the best kind of picture, but you can try this if you have it on big screen. It's better if you have it on the computer then, or TV even, maybe, I don't know. So start to look at the preferably large detailed picture or a photo then, and study it for a few minutes. Now we have studied it for a while if you looked, and either if you have another picture or so on, you can have it on a table or on a wall. So either if it's a white table or wall, or you have a white cloth on the table, is a good thing. And then take away the image or the picture and stare at the wall or the surface of the table and imagine that the picture is still there. So this is a way to build these abilities if you don't just suddenly have them. And build the details from the center. Or I would do it on this picture from the eyes, since they are so apparent. I would it would be those who pop up to me, but and then continue. Out from the center then, and build on the picture. That's a way to learn how to remote view. And then you can see this picture or whatever pictures you have without first physically look at it. You can also, for example, take a paper of sorts or a book with pictures on each side, and then close your eyes and open this magazine or book on the side, or a page I mean, and then try to see this illustration or so while you still have your eyes closed. So you can then imagine the size of the page in your mind and start to see it as dark blue, like a dark blue screen covering this page that you imagine. And then imagine a white dot showing up and continue to expand this dot until the whole page is white. And then focus on the center of the picture and let it build from there and see what you see. And also you can practice before if you get Christmas cards or a birthday, those kinds of things. to practice before you see it. Turn it so you don't see the handwriting, and or get any leads, like, or try to visualize the picture that would be on that card in detail. And then the ones who wrote it, and then who choose it, this card, or when they chose it, and eventually try to see the message in the card without opening it then. And then after that you can practice with three-dimensional things, like for example gifts then. If they're wrapped up, how do you say that? Well, if they're still in the package, even whether it's for you or for someone else, you can also portray it or imagine like there is a hole on top of this wrapped in package, like a light sphere of sorts that continue down, like a binocular, is that the word? Or like a periscope. Yeah, and also whatever situation you are in, where you have something that you don't know what's in it, if you guess it before you open, or guess but tune in and see if you can see it without opening it, and also you can use that technique again as if you kind of go into it and look at it. You can also touch the paper around. That may help. That activates maybe the psychometry more. And that may make it easier. I will come to the psychometry, not in this video. I talked for so long, but anyways. And also you can ask people to do that for you, to put a photo inside of a envelope or something, or tune into it, or something into a what do you say, drawer or something that you don't know what it is, and then so you can't see what it is, and then close your eyes to the half and see the contours. Is that even the English words? Yeah, for your inner mind or inner sight, through this psychic periscope. And you can also touch the drawer but not open it, and then draw this item rather than using words, even if you think it's or do as you please, but yeah, words can like stop this spontaneous experience of it. So, but you can use words, but it's better if you try to draw from beginning. And you can also then repeat this test for a while and make notes in your like clairvoyant notebook with the results and what details you picked up and so. And the next level would be to see unknown places. And those who are going to use remote viewing as a profession, train like this, for example, like find hostages or missing people or so. So you can either choose to focus on a person that you know that is in a place that you don't know, or you can do this before you come to a certain location, so you can tune into how it would look there. For example, if you focus on a person, you can ask someone you know, a friend or someone who is on a vacation, to concentrate about a minute on a specific time that you decided, on a certain scene or something not so common that they see in nature or something, and then also photograph that and ask them also to avoid those most common things that you could guess, like the beach or and then around 5 minutes before this time that you have decided, sit and silently and consciously think about that person, but without consciously thinking about the person, but let images of him or her then, when they are smiling, come to you. And don't bother about the background. And then draw a little sketch of what you perceive. Yeah. You can do short notes if you want, but try rather to draw what you see. And visualize the scene as if you looked at a card, or a picture. Like, so you may experience that other psychic abilities also get activated, like that you feel the scent of flowers, or cooking, or hear church bells, or road, workers, or feel this scent of, or taste even of something, the ocean, or spices, or and also ask this one who sent, so to speak, these images to you to make short notes about everything unusual at the scene, like other aspects, like sounds or scents and so on, so you can compare those and also the photography afterwards with each other. And when you actually see this photo, you may get this sudden sensation of deja vu, or be able to describe aspects that is not documented in the photo. So, and also the night before you go to a city that you haven't been to, or a large building or so, close your eyes and go around that area in your mind, and take note of which path you turn from the station or the largest parking lot, or if there are any unusual buildings, or a larger building, or special rooms, or a special decor or something around there. I see when I used to fly, I don't feel as if I walk when I see like that, but I see it as clear with my closed eyes as if they were open. I see details very clearly. So if you haven't practiced that, you may not do that from beginning. I don't know, but it's possible to do. So imagine that you are looking at a video or DVD, beside an art object, or a road, underneath like those curved bridges, and write down your impressions, and still do this sketched map then. And then when you are actually there, try to follow that map. And also when you plan to visit at a new acquaintance or so, or an office you haven't been to or so on, sit the day before the visit, silently that time that you would be there the next day, and choose a specific or unusual something, a painting, or a something, what is it called now, like something in the room, that they may have ornamentation. That's not what it's called anyways. And if you think this is difficult, then imagine how you look out of the window and try not to rationalize or guess. Try to just be receptive and see without thoughts if possible. And rather sketch it down than write it down, those impressions you get, so that you also teach yourself to focus on the visual images rather than thoughts, because these are a immediate path to this remote viewing ability. And then the level 3 is to find lost or hidden objects. Of course, there are those who use those pendulums, or what are they called now? I have a couple of. I never call them. I ask every time, and others know what they're called, but call them pointers, but they are not. But they're made from wires of copper. Those I have, quite long ones. You hold them some use branches or. Anyways, you can use those. But you can also just use this psychic sense to guide you to a lost object, where it have been hidden for a while, and therefore it may not be an active, what do you say? Not path, but the trace of it. Yeah. But anyway, start to work with your own lost things, if there would not be so that others have access to your house or a key so they can mess with you and so on and make things seem lost, then you won't work well. But otherwise, because that's easier, because you have an emotional attachment to them. After a while, you can help others then and find their lost objects or pets or even when a missing person is located. But also, when it comes to missing people, the person may not want to be found, or maybe they also are dead. So, it's something to consider anyways. And as I said, I would want to be quite sure that I'm so clear almost every time at least to ever do that. And some have developed this gift or ability so that they can be really exact and use that to help the police solve crimes or find bodies or even missing murder weapons and so on. So if there is something you have to find quickly, or if there aren't, if something you want to find quickly, think of your favorite necklace or a missing earring or a paper from the authorities or something that you haven't seen for a while that you've been looking for. And since you want to really find them, to know where you have them and when you need them or whatever. So that will be a stronger pull to actually see where they are. And relax and open up these energy centers, the chakras and so on. There are preparations you can do, like meditations and tune in and learn about the energy, but you can also just try like this. And if you practice like this, you will open up as well. So And also you can like say prayer or so on. You don't need protection as such, but you may want to like make a blessing or something like that. So many do that work in these fields. Not everyone though. Some are not. Some don't see it as spiritual as such, but just as an ability of the brain, sort of. I think of it as being guided by the sisters or spirits. I feel like they show these things. They open up these things and let us know. Yeah, but that's not true entirely, because you can actually learn how to do this. And as I said, with all kinds of you can be brilliant at this and use it in all kinds of ways. That probably wouldn't be approved of by maybe our guides in spirits, let's say. In spirit. Okay. It's because I usually mainly work as a medium. Some remote viewers don't work as mediums. They don't speak with the dead, so to speak. They just do this. Anyways, close your eyes and imagine that thing that you're looking for as vividly as possible, the size, color, the structure, and get this image in front of your mental screen. And the more ability you have to visualize, the better you will do at this, of course. Yeah. And you can also do this kind of image with light, as you think of opening up like this dot of light and so on. And then focus on the background and see so you can see where that object is right now. And probably maybe you see it in like a foggy way to begin with, but it will be clearer. So, and also you can zoom in. I mean, if you want to just zoom in extremely detailed, as you can't even see with your open eyes, you can do that after a while. Or zoom out, however far also. That's very interesting. Anyways, imagine this object becoming smaller. Meanwhile, the details from the background come into focus. And you may see a color in the background, maybe a red fabric, for example, or something in the closet that you haven't used for a long time, or I mean something that you can relate to, so you see where it may be, the thing you or around where it is, thing you're missing. And it can be dark also, if it's this object is beneath a pile of other things or in a box. Then even if you look, you may just see it as dark. So that may not be that you don't see. It can be that it's just not. You wouldn't see it, where it is. So if possible, don't have any preconceptions about it. And don't dismiss it, what you've seen, but check it out, however unlikely it seemed to you. And if there is a color in the background, you can stretch that field of what you see, so that you can see what it is, what it is. That color is upon, let's say. And if it's darker around that object, You can then also focus white light as if you have lit a flashlight. And then you may see this if you're searching for a box and so on. And then you can identify where it is and so. And if the surroundings aren't clear, try not to force any impressions. It's better to go back and imagine yourself when you last saw this missing object. And then just go on with, or imagine that you go on with this next activity. Someone may have someone called you, or you went somewhere with this object in your hand or something. So you may remember also and see what happened. And let those images in your mind continue until you and this object parted ways, so to say. It can be in the home or somewhere else. And yeah, that can make you come to a place where you wouldn't have thought of it, and where you can then find this object. But there is also times where you might see this object being taken with the trash truck, or what it's called, or that someone picks it up, something you instinctively feel that they will not turn it in. What do you say? Yeah. Yeah, maybe you do say that. Anyway, so yeah. So you can focus in on various things. It depends on what it is then. If you focus in on your hands, if you had something like a jewelry on a ring, or held something in your hand and so on, you can like follow it's like tracking, following a trace, and then you can zoom into what you think is the most probable path, or where you most likely will see where it went, so to say. So and you can also follow several. If it changes hands, so to speak, you can follow that trace and see what happened and where it went. So yeah. So and yeah, so you can work in that way, that if someone have lost something, you can create this visualization together with that person also, while that person talk about the last moment they saw this object and describe it vividly. Then you can together follow this trace, this track, and describe what you see, each of you, and create this unified vision of where this path or this item, what path it took and where it is now. And this also works with pets, so yeah. That was that. Okay, that was a little bit, if you are interested in learning more. Okay, gotta end now. I don't know for how long I've spoken. Yeah, go track. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.